Alright, well, this is it then. Brand new season. Maybe potentially new dawns for F1RC, but we'll find out later on. Welcome along to the 10th anniversary of F1RC. This is season 10, and we're here at the Bahrain International Circuit for the opening round of the season 10 campaign. You can see all the drivers lined up at the exit of the pit lane. Not as much attendance as last season, but that was to be expected. A new owner, new beginnings, new action to be provided for us, but still the same qualifying format. And my commentator alongside me today is Futa Cox, obviously a very experienced driver and a world champion. Futa Cox, how are you doing today?
Nice.
Yeah, alright, you're boring. Okay, let's see. Obviously, it is the typical... Wow, the attendance is pretty horrid. So, here's what we're going to do. Since we don't have that many people, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a 10-minute shootout. 10 minutes, you got 10 minutes to do whatever you can to start a flying lap and finish in P1. You got 10 minutes to do this qualifying session. We're not doing Q1, Q2, Q3 today because of the attendance level. So, let's just go ahead and do that. Yeah.
A McLaren in the pit lane.
Great. We got a car in the pit lane.
Okay, I'm not driving it.
Is it, who is it? Oh, it's, McLaren. Oh, okay. Yeah, so let's see.
Isn't there a glitch where if you get out of the pit lane, you would...
Yeah, true. Alright, so, Pixel's trying to... he's struggling. So, if you flip during qualifying, you're out, obviously. That is known. You are not allowed to cut the track either to gain an advantage, like a major cut. So, you're given a grid penalty for that if you do that. So, yeah. Hopefully my mic is capturing the audio. It should be doing so, but yeah. Currently, it is Oiskry, the new driver for Audi. What's it called? He is now leading the pack away. Had a great return to F1RC back in Abu Dhabi last season. And we're going to find out if he can have a good result here in Bahrain against the almighty Greninja Warrior. The reigning world champion, of course. But we're going to start the first flying lap of the season in qualifying with Oiskry. So, at least that's an achievement that he can hold this season. The first flying lap of the season is with the Audi O2 of Oiskry into turn 1. Make sure to brake as late as you can and turn in as early as you can. It looked like a pretty decent apex by the British drivers through turn 2. Take it nice and aggressive. And up the hill, he climbs towards turn 4. It's a very tricky corner, very easy to mess up and make a lot of mistakes. It's quite bumpy and very oversteer on the exit, and that's a bit of a compromised line as he braked, I think, a bit too late in his Audi car. Down the S as we go in the middle sector, looked pretty smooth and a bit bumpy down the hill, and turn 8, he has binned it. He hits the outside wall. Bruno Raptor's a lot of oversteer for the Red Bull. Jesus Christ. Bruno nearly decked it into the wall at turn 8, the exit of turn 8. So, it didn't look quite ideal.
JB22 F14? What the fuck am I looking at?
That's Danny. That's his like alt, I think, or something. Meanwhile, Bruno Raptors, you see he nearly decked it at the exit of turn 8, so wasn't ideal for the Red Bull. It's probably going to be a pretty sloppy middle sector, and you can see it is. It's a 32.5. Meanwhile, Greninja Warrior going purple in the first sector, as you would expect, and he's actually jumped out of his car, so doesn't look like that's a lap that he's proud of. So he's gonna have to reset his car or reset his tires, which you obviously are allowed to do in qualifying. Nubby in the now Volkswagen because his Haas broke during the warm-up of qualifying. So yeah. Don't know who broke it, but yeah. Anyways, Crush, the new Red Bull driver, is here at turn 17, the final corner of Bahrain International. Like I said, debut for Red Bull. Let's see if it can get a good result for the Milton Keynes team and impress his new team principal, Karl Matsky, who's obviously not here today, but hopefully will be with us sometime in the near future. Through turn 1 and 2 and 3, looked pretty smooth. As we know, Crush, he's really developed as a driver. He has improved quite a lot. Throughout season 9, we saw he started off like being pretty butt, and he's now, you know, improved his skill, improved his talent, and obviously he's been given the opportunity to drive for a very famous team, very successful team, the most successful team in F1RC, Red Bull Racing. Obviously has held some great names that have driven for this team. For example, myself, Gaspin, Epic Lexa, they've all driven for Red Bull. So Crush has got some big shoes to fill in today. In the first sector,
Nice.
it looks like Oyster's gone purple with a 31.5, quickly beaten by 4/10 with Green Ninja Warrior, and he's also gone purple in the first sector as well with a 20.4, matches his first sector on the previous lap, and in the middle sector is the 31.1. Not the quickest we've seen from Green Ninja Warrior. He can obviously go about 3/10 quicker in the middle sector, I think, but it goes extremely wide at the exit of 17 and onto the main straight. Green Ninja Warrior potentially could get into the 113s. Is that the expected pole time? As he comes off the line, it's a 14.3. I know for a fact Green Ninja Warrior can improve on that. He won't be happy with it, as he wants a bit more leniency from the other drivers behind him. He is, so far, the only one, other than Epic Dexter, who's not here today, who has gotten into the 113s. Can Ninja Warrior do that here today? Oyster landing up in P2, about 3/10 clear of Crush and the Red Boys. Currently out-qualified his teammate, Bruno Raptor, so that'll be quite a shock if Crush managed to out-qualify his more experienced teammate. Meanwhile, Pixel in his McLaren, the newly red McLaren, Vodafone livery-esque, sort of, sponsored by Chevrolet, is down the third back straight and onto the final corner to lead onto the main straight, and he's going a bit deep, but that's fine. Is Pixel on a flying lap? It looks like he is, but it's not any improvements in any of the sectors. 5 minutes remain in the session, so let's see what the drivers can do. Pixel, of course, with the line only goes P6, about 3 seconds off of everyone for some reason. Danny all the way down in P8. Not going to be a good showing for him and Ferrari today. I think he's a Ferrari driver. Yes, he is, and he spins out at turn 8, so not ideal. Let's see, Nubby is, well, still Nubby. Pretty cheeks, but it's okay. He's sliding all over the place at the exit of 13. So, that was on ideal. Oyster managed to improve his up to a 15.3 and is now within a second, or just over a second, behind Green Ninja Warrior. Food, so what you thinking of this qualifying session so far?
Boring.
Fair enough. Alright, let me see. Luca, haven't talked about him yet. Luca has been sacked from Mercedes and he's now at Alpine. So let's see what Luca can do on his day before Alpine as we go through turn 4. Green, what? Okay. Little oversteer for the Alpine and bumpy on the way down in the turn 8. It's very tricky, complex. Of corners and a little oversteer down the hill at turn 9. This track is very oversteery. And I'll be saying lol, not sure for what. He probably crashed or something. I don't know, it looks like he's still going. Meanwhile, Luca down at turn 11 takes it nice and aggressive. I think that might be a corner cut. It's gone very wide, has Luca. Probably a corner cut. He has the Braun GP right behind him. Has Luca cut the track? Looks like he hasn't actually. Green Ninja Warrior with 30.8 in the middle sector. I told you it could go quicker. But that first sector is about a 10 down on his personal best. So will it be a good lap? Will it be enough for Green Ninja Warrior for him to improve and get into the 13s? He goes wide at the exit of the final corner, gets right up against the wall. We're still spectating Luca and the Alpine, but what can then Green Ninja Warrior do? 14.3, it's now still a 14.3. Once again, he was known last season for bottling quite a lot of poles. Well, he got pole last. There's a Red Bull on the start of the track at turn 1. Not sure what that's about. But, yeah, obviously Green Ninja Warrior last season got pole here, broke the track record with a 15.5, a fascinating lap that he set back in the day, literally like 8 months ago. And Green's still going quicker with a 20.3, bumpy over the section of the S's in the middle sector that looked pretty smooth through turn 8 with the Green Ninja Warrior. He's going to probably have to tell Danny to get out of the way, and he's actually slowed down. Or unless I just disconnect. Yeah, he has. Luca, what's the... Is he disconnected? Or is he just... I think Luca... Don't know what's going on with him. He's just parked it at turn 10. Okay. We're gonna have yellow flags there. Not sure what that's about. So, turn 10, the hairpin. Lucas just kind of like parked it there. I don't know if he's disconnected. Oh, he's just extremely laggy. And looks like he now has disconnected. Right. He is allowed to rejoin, of course. Because disconnecting in qualifying doesn't really matter. Pixel looks like he also has disconnected because his McLaren is on the side of the road as well at turn 10. So we'll just, you know, bring it here. Luca, you can just come along here, get in your car. Alright, okay, I don't think, okay, Spirit says he's gonna be late. I don't think he's gonna have enough time to join in time for qualifying, but He will be allowed to race, obviously. I'm just going to let him. Minute and a half or minute 14 to go left in quali. Bruno Raptors is now ahead of his teammate by exactly a tenth of a second. Let's see if he can try and improve on that. Can't crush. Wearing a Max Verstappen helmet today. Through the first sector. He's going a bit wide. Not ideal. 20.8 in the middle sector. Or in the first sector, my bad.
Oh, yes.
50 seconds left. Oiskry goes around the final corner to start his final flying lap. No driving backwards is allowed, so this is everyone's final flying laps. 30 seconds, or about 35 seconds to go. And Oiskry crosses the line to start his final flying lap, going through turn 1. Looks like he P-braked, so that's quite an interesting tactic. Green Ninja Warrior coming around the final corner to now start his final flying lap. Bruno starts his final flying lap. Luca, I don't think he's actually going to make it in time, so I think his best result might be P5, which isn't bad for his debut at Alpine. Danny's spinning it around at turn 11, and that's going to be his qualifying over. He's down in P6. Pixel P7, Nubby dead last. Can Nubby make it to the line in time? No, Nubby's not going to make it. Crush, I think, is just about going to make it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Crush makes it just in time. Checkered flag. Crush was the last one to cross the line. So, let's see what the flying after going to look like. Is anyone improving? Bruno's improving in the first sector. Oiskry isn't. 20.9 in the first sector for Bruno. 20.7 for Oiskry. Bruno's still down by a little bit on the Audi of Oiskry. He's oversteering all over the place through turn 12, I think. I don't know. Can't really make sure. Turn 13. Bruno, oh, has he cut? Yes, he has. Oh, Bruno Raptors cut it at turn 13, and that's his qualifying over. P3 for Red Bull, and P4 as well. They'll be pretty happy with that. And I think Oiskry has also been his lap, which he has. He's pulling it to the pit lane, just like it was last season. Green Ninja Warrior will start the opening race of the season on pole position. So well done to Green Ninja Warrior and Braun GP. Back-to-back poles at Bahrain.